up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my own new review of the Belle Collective. Y'all know this is a short season. We got the season finale this Friday, and I'm annoyed because this could have been a great season, but we literally spent all of our episodes talking about the Amanda Gate, and that annoyed me because this is what we already dealt with before with Leticia and Glenn discussing the infidelities in their marriage, and that's it. That's all. There's nothing new about it. And we could have spent more time getting to know Carrie a little bit better. Selena should have taken over and made this her debut for her being a full-time Belle. I don't know what Tambra is doing. I'm tired of Marie playing in my face. Latrice playing in my face too. Like, this was a wasted season for us to only talk about the DMs. Like, what? I ain't got it. I don't. But let's get into it. So, we continue on with what the last episode left off, which is Leticia asking Latrice if she has seen anything that Glenn has done inappropriately. So Latrice was stumbling, not really trying to answer, and said no, but to try to throw it in her face that she knew about the Amanda situation, but she has defended the fact that she knows Amanda. She doesn't believe for Amanda to be a liar, and you should take heed to what Amanda has said and has showed you. My thing is this: regardless if Amanda showed her anything or not, Leticia knows her husband, and she's not going to leave her husband. She's not going to do nothing about it. So I don't know why she's still trying to hold Latrice's feet to the fire to demand that she tells her what she knows when you already know. So typical. She's not happy that Latrice didn't tell her what she knows, thinks that she's deflecting, and putting it all the blame on Latrice when all the blame goes to Glenn. This is the reason why you're in this mess. It's because Glenn got fucking sloppy and decides to creep up in somebody else's DMs, someone that you have been around before, saying that she wants Latrice to take accountability for her actions. Explain what are those actions are. If you're still going to blame Latrice as to how the information got out, that's not going to take away with what just happened. Your husband has consistently been reaching out to other women, asking them for their number, talking about meeting up with them, creating little situationships with them, while still being married to you. I don't have time for Leticia's delusions of living in the land of milk and cookies to want to put everybody else at fault for what her husband done. Make that make sense. We couldn't get an answer. The night was over. Whatever. All right, so now we get to the next morning. Leticia ended up sleeping with Marie because she didn't want to sleep in the same room with Latrice. Whatever. And she's just discussing about how she feels and what happened the night before. And did anybody notice that Leticia was wearing like a cafeteria lady's hairnet? Not like a regular bonnet? I said, what's up? What you about to serve up for lunch, Miss Pearson? She went on to discuss about how when people show up, how they show up, you believe them. So she's literally trying to look at all the facts of how Latrice has not been a good friend to her, and this is who she's always been, and that's her conclusion. Leticia, how about you take off those rose-colored glasses, take them off, and put on some real clear lenses so you can really, really see who has really been playing in your face. And that person has been Glendale. The man who you've known since high school, the man who has continuously have cheated on you time and time again. So for you to want to say people will show up how they are, and when they show you who they are, you believe them, believe your own fucking husband to be somebody you can't trust. Believe that your husband is always going to lie to you. He's always going to manipulate you, gaslight you. Like, please. Like, you just love misery. That's what I think Leticia is. A woman who loves misery, a woman who thrives in toxic situations and still wants to be a victim. And she's not a victim, by no means. Latrice was in her room with Selena and Tambra, and they're asking her, how does she feel about talking to Leticia? Is she going to try to have a conversation? She said, listen, at the end of the day, you're going to still put me at fault with everything. But even if you want to blame me for what happened, it's not going to change what happened because you're not going to leave Glendale. And I have to agree with that. As much as she wants to place blame on Amanda and Latrice about how the situation happened, it don't change the fact that it was because of your husband. Point blank, period. And yes, we all know she's not going to leave Glendale. She's not going to do anything about it, but she wants to blame everybody else about how it happened, but not her husband. You see how that works? Anyway. Tambra still stands on the fact that she was not going to tell Leticia, and that she was very, very happy to have missed the party. And hell yeah, because Leticia always wants to find somebody else to blame and not her husband, and not how things have presented this way because of her husband, and I don't have time for it. You're placing all of the undying loyalty on your friends than your husband. Selena just wants everyone to get along, okay? She is very good friends with both of these ladies, do not want them to be at odds. We'll see. Marie asked Leticia, is she ready to get back into her purpose when it comes to this brunch tour? Whatever, Marie. I don't care about these damn brunches. And then Leticia is talking about her brunches are more than just about entrepreneurship. They're about home ownership. They're about connecting and collaborating and blah, 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 your needs. Okay? No matter how many words you keep on adding to your mission statement, Leticia, you don't operate on them. You don't operate on collaboration. You don't operate on empowerment. You don't operate on sisterhood. You don't. Anyway, we got Carrie. Carrie head over to her restaurant to have everything be prepared for when the ladies arrive for Leticia's brunch tour. And she said it's very important that I show up as Leticia's friend. And at the same time, she also wants to show these ladies how she operates in her element, how she manages her business. Listen, Carrie, you ain't got to impress these ladies, okay? I think you've already shown us, to me, that you are about your business, how you operate everything, okay? You did everything great. You had everything all designed well. You had the table settings all nice and neat. You did good. So we got all the ladies coming out in their brunch finest to get on the Sprinter to head over to the restaurant. Let's see the looks. Timber, simple, plain, casual, cute. Latrice, same thing, simple, plain, casual, cute. Selena, she wore one of her original pieces from her boutique. Cute. I love the blue. Leticia, don't know what the hell you had on. I did like Marie's outfit. I love the shoes. So, it is what it is. When they walk into the restaurant, Tambra says she loves Carrie's restaurant. Okay, she loves the vibe. She smells food. And everybody's just having a good time, coming in, saying hi, how you doing? Leticia took over everything as usual, spoke her little speech, talking about what is the purpose of her Mississippi brunch tour. It's about collaborating over competition, connecting, create a network, blah, blah, blah. And then Carrie opens up and talks about how she appreciates Leticia for choosing her restaurant to promote her brunch tour. And Carrie got a little emotional. Her eyes start to water, but Carrie didn't realize that one of her lashes was literally lifting off and about to fly away. The camera was zooming in on her lash, literally lifting off. And everybody was like, oh, girl, Carrie didn't see that? How could she not see that lash? And Carrie laughed it off. She said, listen, in the day, I'm going to still speak my speech. It don't matter if I have on lashes or I don't have on lashes. I love that. And then Carrie and Leticia tells us that they have been social media besties for a very long time and are very happy that they connected personally outside of social media. Then Leticia says, don't be afraid to slide in someone's DMs. That did not bode well, Leticia. The jokes write themselves. Latrice said that should not be your statement if you're trying to collaborate and build a friendship with, because that's what your husband has been doing. Your husband has been practicing what you've been preaching. You might want to go back to the drawing board and rephrase that, and I agree. Don't try to minimize that your husband is doing anything wrong when he is by reaching out to multiple women in the DMs, asking for their number, trying to hit up with them to say it's the same thing as you linking up with Carrie to discuss plans and collaborate and network. Like, girl, messing with that bullshit. This is the delusion that I can't stand with Leticia. It's the delusion for me. Anyway, she just kept on talking about how she got into the brunch business in 2017, and she wanted all of the ladies to tell their story about how they got inspired to being a business owner, to connect with other women, and da-da-da-da. At the end of the day, the brunch did very well. She's very happy to have collaborated with Carrie, and she is hopeful that the trip can still end on a positive note, I guess. All right, so now the ladies got back on the Sprinter van to head over to the house. They all give Leticia congratulations on putting on a great event. Marie gave Carrie a compliment as to how she had a very nice venue. And Marie wanted to know, why did Carrie tell them not to eat so much? Oh, it's because Carrie wanted them to still be open of eating something new later in the evening. She wants to still give them the Creole experience. Marie said, I don't like spicy. Carrie said, girl, I figured, because ever since I saw Martin, I knew you like that unseasoned chicken. Oh my God, I screamed. Get it, Carrie. I love that Carrie can keep up with Marie, because Marie thinks she can just say nothing and nobody can ever have nothing to say back to her, and I love it. But for me though, Marie, what do you eat? What would you like to eat? Because I feel like you just been complaining at every single thing that Carrie has presented to you, and it's been annoying me. I understand you have lupus, but girl, can you give us a hint as to what you can and can't eat? And have you told Carrie what you would like to eat? Like, that's the whole thing about it. That I don't get it. But moving on. Carrie says she still has a lot of tricks up her sleeve. So when they got back to the house, she had these cute pajamas laid out for all the ladies to put on. And they were of lemons. Very cute, cute, cute pajamas, mind you. And she wants to have a lemon squeeze, because she said, in my sorority, this is what we will do when we wanted to talk about our issues and resolve them. We would pretty much squeeze out our lemons until we got lemonade. So then we also get to meet Carrie's family members. Her mom, her mother-in-law, and her aunt came by to drop off dinner. They made a pot of gumbo. I saw potato salad. I think I saw some greens, brought some bread over, and it was some kind of dessert that I didn't know at first. But then I saw a deleted scene of that moment where Matt's mom brought over bread pudding. And it was like a rum raisin, praline kind of thing. I'm not really a bread pudding type of chick, but hey, she said it was a Louisiana recipe. I'll take her word for it, because instantly when I saw Matt's mom, I figured she was Creole. I mean, her skin is white as snow, okay? But she is beautiful. Did y'all see her hair? White as snow, crinkled to the side, got a side shave thing going on. I said fabulous, giving fabulous mom right here, okay? Because she wanted to give a taste of her Creole heritage, and I really do like that. Now, everyone was happy to see her family members, and oh, peep this. Her aunt is named Diamond. Same name as me, and it's spelled the same way as me. Like, I don't meet a lot of people who have the same name as me, so it's a very rare thing, a very happy thing that I've always liked to take note of. And she thinks that food is a good thing to bring everybody together. And while Carrie being the host, she wanted to present a plate of gumbo to everybody. The only person who didn't want to eat was Marie. She said, oh no, I'm not eating that. I'm like, do you even want to try it, Marie? Like, what do you want to eat? What would you like to eat? Okay, why are you turning your nose up at Carrie for bringing her family around to give you a taste of her heritage, and you don't even want to try it? You're too good to eat a home-cooked meal? Like, I swear to God, you annoyed me the way you acted about the crawfish. You annoyed me with the way you're acting about the oysters. And you're really annoying me with the way you're acting about not being appreciative of what Carrie has been trying to do. All right, so now Carrie is still being the hostess with the mostest. She's trying to be everywhere in the room, making sure everybody is entertained. They're keeping up with the vibes. And she explains the purpose of the lemon squeeze. So it is meant to address the problems, address their concerns, and leave it all out and don't bring it up again, so they can maintain their sisterhood. While talking, she accidentally burnt the garlic bread in the oven. And this was a funny moment. They all made fun of Carrie, because Carrie would say she can multitask. Sometimes you can't always multitask well. And Marie did a little bit too much, in my opinion, by saying that now I know you can't cook, and that's why your family cooks for you. I don't know why you have so much of an opinion, Marie, about what Carrie can and can't do, because I feel like Carrie has been going out of her way to make sure y'all had a good time, and you has just been a Debbie Downer, in my opinion. And don't ever think that you are above Carrie by saying you could do better when you can't even fix your own man a proper plate of breakfast. Remember that? You gave him a plate of fruit that wasn't washed, that was cut on a dirty countertop, and you gave him a mug of orange juice in his house that he don't fucking clean. So you can miss me with that. Don't like it, don't like it. So then we hear a knock on the door. Wondering who is at the door. It is Marie's Uber Eats. She ordered Pizza Hut. She ordered herself a personal pan pizza and breadsticks. And everybody felt like that was rude. I would have never done that. And even when she ate the pizza, she even offered a slice to everybody. But it's kind of like, girl, you literally just ruined the experience that Carrie wanted to present to you. You really didn't want to try any of her family's food. Now listen, when it comes to home cooked meals and particular recipes, I know a lot of people are not too keen on trying, because you don't know if they're going to do it the right way or the way you're used to eating it. But Marie didn't even want to try any of Carrie's family food. She instantly said, no, I'm not eating it. And you never even expressed to Carrie what were your concerns about what you can and can't eat. To order Uber Eats and have me presented in front of Carrie like that, I swear to God, that was just rude. And how could you choose pizza over gumbo? That would never make any sense to me. I cannot. Marie was just rude. That was tacky. That was ghetto. No, ma'am. So then we get into the lemon squeeze. But Tambra wanted to compare how the girls from the coast dress down for a brunch versus us Jackson girls show up and show out when it comes to brunches. Carrie said, okay, is that where we're going? Okay, well, let's talk about it. So y'all got Jackson City, we got Jackson County, but y'all got all that ratchetness over there. And now they were like, oh, how dare you? I know you're not calling Jackson ratchet now. But that's what you did, though, Tambra. You brought it up. You wanted to make a clear comparison and a conversation as to how the coastal girls dress down and the Jackson girls dress up. What was the purpose of bringing that up? And I don't know how you thought that kind of conversation wasn't going to be a debate, considering the fact that Carrie isn't from Jackson. She's from Biloxi. She's from the coast, the Gulf Coast. So, you know, there's a difference. But y'all can't keep on getting offended and sensitive over being called ratchet. Everybody that lives in a certain area got ratchet areas, got ratchet cities. We got projects, we got hoods. Y'all gonna have to get out of y'all feelings with that, okay? And you can fucking miss me with that shit. Now, Leticia thought she was trying to help Carrie by saying that when the comparison was brought up, you got offended. Carrie said, I wasn't offended, because Carrie stands 10 toes down on how she does feel about Jackson being ratchet, because she likes to say it's a mix between sophistication and ratchetness. Ratchet, as what she likes to call it. But girl, at the end of the day, don't take it to heart. It is what it is, right? But Carrie caught it that y'all trying to be on some surface level shit. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the issues at hand. Leticia and Latrice, are y'all harboring any feelings towards one another? Because we're going to talk about it, we're going to clear it up, and we're going to leave it here on the Gulf Coast. That's it, that's all. Now, Leticia, she want to act like she got everything off her chest. She don't have nothing to say. She's going to move accordingly. And then she wants to talk about how people that always want to come around her want to weaponize her vulnerability, violate her trust, and blah, blah, blah. And then pinpoint that Latrice violated her trust. Let me tell you something, Leticia. Fuck you and your overuse of saying people are weaponizing your life, weaponizing your marriage, because that's not what happened. And what do you mean that you will never weaponize somebody else's vulnerability? You will never weaponize someone else's trust. You did it before. You did it to Tambra. Remember that? You came in wanting her to be confronted by Taisha over Damon. Remember that? And you and Marie sat down with her stalker that could have definitely jeopardized her fucking safety based off of what she was going through with that person. And you tried to do it to Akeisha. You did it to Latrice by assuming she was an alcoholic and assuming that she was in an abusive relationship without the facts. Like, make it make sense, Leticia. You have definitely weaponized other people's situations because you wanted them to be exposed about what they needed to talk about, because you didn't want your situation to be talked about. And as far as you saying Latrice violated your trust, how? I don't recall you ever confiding in Latrice over your problems with Glenn. And if you did, she never exposed them. And hell, your issue with your marriage was already presented to everybody from the first season. Everybody was aware about what Glenn had going on. Everybody was aware of him cheating on you because you told us that. So nobody else used it against you. I cannot. All right. Okay, so Carrie is seeing a different side to Leticia by saying that she likes that her vulnerability is a part of her personality. It's what gives her strength. All right, Carrie. I can see you're seeing a different side to Leticia, but keep your eye out on her. That's all I got to say. Now, Marie, I honestly didn't understand what Marie was trying to do in this moment. To me, I just felt like she wanted to have another moment to call out Latrice, to put her out as the problem. And I didn't like that because she wanted to say, here's how she would have handled it if she was Latrice. If she had found out that her friend's husband was doing something he shouldn't be doing, she wouldn't go to Leticia. She wouldn't go to the girl that he was involved with. She would go directly to Glenn and say, listen, I know what you're doing. I need you to stop what you're doing, or I'm going to tell Leticia. Marie, that didn't make any sense because I feel like that's going to still make Leticia be mad at you for confronting her husband. She's not going to like that you went up to her husband to say anything in that matter. She's not going to listen to the message you were trying to give him. She's going to want to know, why are you confronting my husband? Because that's all Leticia's going to care about. She's going to care about how you went up to her husband, not the message. And at the end of the day, Leticia is going to be the one hurt regardless if you're trying not to hurt her, if you're trying not to have her be hurt by this news. The news is going to be presented anyway. Any way you look at it, this scenario could not have been prevented. Sorry. But to me, using that kind of scenario is giving Glenn a way out to still do wrong. He's going to still find different ways of continuously doing wrong. You confronting him is not going to scare him. He's not going to be like, oh, I got to tell Leticia. Hell no. He gonna do his damnedest on making sure Leticia is not gonna see that anything's a problem, that she's not gonna believe anything you tell her. So miss me. And to still trying to set it up that Latrice wanted to hurt her is bullshit in my opinion. And you know what, Marie? You really wanted to get a rise out of Latrice by calling her out. And in this moment, you like, Latrice, why are you so quiet, Latrice? Latrice, why are you so quiet? She's listening to you, Marie. Why are you trying to have an argument with her? And she said in her confessional, it was only a matter of time before Marie showed her true colors yet again. Because she's tired of being a scapegoat. She's tired of being blamed for Glenn and Leticia's marital problems. And I have to agree. When she told Leticia about the baby, everybody blamed her, but not Glenn. Now we get to Amanda. We're blaming her for how it got out, but not what Glenn did to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's tiring as hell. Those are Leticia's problems that she's already had with Glenn before anything got out. Blame your husband. Don't blame everybody else for being aware of what your husband has continuously have been doing, which is playing in your fucking face. Now, Latrice, I understand that she is getting tired of having all of this heat directed at her, and she keeps on mentioning that Tambra knew about the DMs, but she's not going to throw Tambra under the bus. Well, stop mentioning it then, Latrice. Stop looking for someone to save you, because I know this is a very uncomfortable position that you didn't want to be in, but stand in it and say, listen, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. I'm already uncomfortable that I'm already in it. So for you to always want someone to save you when something that you didn't want to really be in, just stand in and say, I didn't want this, and I'm tired of being in this shit. Tambra was not going to get involved because she doesn't want to say anything to Leticia at all. I honestly don't think she cares of how this is affecting Leticia, in my opinion. So she is being quiet. Marie, I don't know what's this hooping and howling thing you got going on when you wanted to be the main one, the loudest one, saying, where's the love? Where's the sisterhood? Where was all of that when y'all wanted to sit down with Tambra Stalker? Because y'all didn't like that Tambra wasn't being honest enough. She wasn't talking about her life enough. She wasn't pretty much letting y'all know what she got going on, because y'all wanted to get down to nitty gritty. Y'all wanted to know what mess she got going on, and it wasn't working for y'all. So y'all wanted to force her to discuss some things she wasn't ready to talk about. So fuck you, Marie, and fuck you, Tisha. Both of y'all don't ever operate in the spirit of sisterhood, in my opinion. This lemon squeeze is not working out, as you can see, because it looked like Marie and Leticia just wanted to have this moment to call out Latrice, and that's not what Carrie wanted. She wanted everybody to talk about their problems, everybody to mention their issues. But no, we just still focus on the one damn thing that I'm tired of talking about. So Carrie is attempting one final trick to keep everything on the up and up, keep everything positive. So she had her assistant book a minister medium, because Carrie don't like when things are bottled up. And if you keep things bottled up, then it'll just explode at the very last moment that you never thought it would come out. So she wants everyone to be in a space of healing and peace. And she wants to be the one that wants to resolve the peace, wants to facilitate situations where we can move forward. So we got some skeptics in the room of people who don't believe that there are other ways of people that can connect to their loved ones when they passed on. They believe that the Almighty Savior, the Lord Christ Almighty, is the main God that we should always believe. Nobody else believes in any other kind of being or spirit, which I don't have nothing against. I honestly operate as a Christian, but I am not removed from hearing other people who are adapting in spiritual healing, spiritual readings. I'm not opposed to any of that. I'm interested in that. Latrice talks about being a Baptist and how they don't really entertain that kind of spiritual journey or spiritual healing, which is understandable. Marie says the same thing. And the woman named Dr. Foster, she came in and she just starts to feel the energy of who lost their father. I sent someone who lost their mother recently. Was there an apology that could have been given? Selena felt it was towards her, that this could have been something that she didn't know. And Then her son was also mentioned, and that really put her at an emotional state. So before she asked any questions, wondering how did she know any of this, she asked production, did y'all tell her anything before she came into this scene? Did y'all let her know what was going on? And production came out and said they have never spoken to Dr. Foster. And Dr. Foster said, I told them I didn't want nothing to know about y'all. I wanted my first experience to be with y'all first meeting. I didn't want to hear anything. I didn't watch your show, so I don't know anything at all. So this wasn't a setup. This wasn't a planned scene. So when she asked about her son's name, she asked, was there any justice for him? And she said there hasn't been any justice for him. She is still wondering how he can be served justice. And she started to cry. All the ladies was rallying around her. And she can sense that there's some type of clothing that she has of him. She said she has the clothes when he was unalived in. She hasn't gotten rid of it. And she can sense that her son has been there. And he can also feel that Selena is going to grieve herself to death because she is still hurt about losing him. Selena says she can't help it. He doesn't want her to do that. And he just wants to let her know that he is with her and doesn't want her to hurry up and leave this earth. She still has work to do, which I was emotional hearing that. And the fact that her son is with her and that she shouldn't be literally losing her life over the loss of her son, to pretty much not have her want to be present in this world, because I understand losing someone that is so close to you, it can make you feel like you shouldn't have no right to live at this point. But don't allow for grief to overtake you in that way. You know, still find ways of being happy. Carry out his memory. Now, Latrice was in the middle of wanting to see if she can get a reading. And her father got brought up. And she said, no, I don't want to do it right now. So Carrie wanted to get a reading about an aunt that has tragically passed. And it was surrounding blame and guilt. And wonder if there's anything they could have done. But it's kind of like, how do you help somebody who didn't want to be helped? So apparently her aunt passed away from suicide. And obviously it really hit Carrie, because a term that was used that's been around for years about how family members like to sweep things under the rug when it comes to talking about certain situations. And she felt like it was a crazy coincidence because her and her cousin have talked about the same exact thing all the time. That why does our family like to sweep things under the rug? I don't know, Carrie. I have that in my family as well. My family, we don't discuss our issues head on. No, we smile, we keep things pushing, but we know that there are issues within our family. We know that there are years of resentment and anger, but we don't address it. We sweep it under the rug. We keep things just peaceful when it's not really peaceful. So now Latrice had a change of heart, and she actually wanted to find out about her father. And when her father passed, she didn't even cry at his funeral, because she, you know, never really thought that her father was proud of her since he walked out of her life. But actually he is very proud of her. And she was so angry at him that she never thought that he was proud of her. And then we sent her grandmother. She was very close with her grandmother, and her grandmother would always call her her favorite. And of course she don't say it out loud, because of course, if y'all don't know, grandparents do have favorites, but they never allow for the other family members to know that they have favorites. So I can definitely resonate with that. And she believed her because nobody else knew that her and her grandma had a little inside joke that she was her favorite. And then you see Leticia over there getting emotional by Latrice, getting this closure and getting this kind of comfort from her grandma, because she was there talking to Latrice, being there for her when Latrice was planning her grandmother's funeral. So while she has empathy for what she's feeling, they're just not in a great space in their friendship, but she still loves her. So everyone feels happy that Carrie invited the medium. And of course, we know majority of the people did not partake into the experience. That was Tambra, Marie, and Leticia. While I do understand that they might have been skeptical of what they didn't want to experience, I also feel like they did not want to be open and honest about how they are feeling. They didn't want to be real in that moment. So everybody's pretty much ready to pack up and get ready for bed to head home. But Latrice wanted to talk to Leticia outside. And of course, it was a surprising factor that Latrice wanted to open up a conversation. And, you know, at this point, they were just talking in circles, because Latrice is tired of defending herself by saying that she did not mean for this to go down. She wasn't trying to hurt Leticia. It wasn't her intent. But I feel like the more I'm expressing about what I didn't want, you still are trying to say, fuck Latrice. This is what she wanted to do. Because Leticia wanted to hear why she did it and why could she do it. But again, like she said, she had nothing to do with it. She don't want to be in the middle. Leticia was still grandstanding about how she always feels like anytime she brings somebody in the group, they always want to come at her. And it keeps on going back to Antoinette. It keeps on going back to Mandy. It's like, girl, these women do not think about you like that. The person that is presenting them to you is the man that you have been married to for all of these years. My God, today, nobody is trying to come apart. Nobody is trying to come into this group to automatically come after you, Leticia. Like, fucking miss me with that shit. Stop assuming that they're coming for you. Stop assuming that they want to attack you. I think that they be ready for you to attack them because you always look for a way to attack other people. Because you have that kind of demonic spirit, Leticia. I'm sorry, but you do. Like, I hear Leticia still trying to place blame to Latrice about how the situation came about versus how are you in a marriage with somebody who you can't fucking trust. Now, she talks about how her and Latrice would talk all the time. They have a lot of conversations about everything. And this was something that she couldn't tell her. As friends, knowing that you've already dealt with this before, it would hurt me to tell you this when you've already dealt with this. So as a friend, I'm not going to be able to tell you everything or talk about everything with you because I don't want to hurt you. So again, like I said, they went around in circles. Leticia feels like, how are you my friend and you know what I've been going through and yet you don't know how this could have hurt me? Like, it's a double-edged sword, okay? If someone who wanted to tell you something that they only knew the best way how to tell you, you still would not take heed to what they tell you. You would still confront them, project on them, come at them all sideways, and still give your husband passes. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, Latrice, I guess, finally understood where Leticia was coming from. But it's going to take some time for them to get back to a good space. Not sure about their husbands, whatever. Leticia's happy that they talked, but she doesn't know if she's going to be 100% back in the friendship. And it can't be like it was before because she just can't trust her. Well, I hope the feeling is mutual, Leticia. I hope that Latrice can't trust you because you're not trustworthy either. And I'm begging for Tisha's friendship. Because what about your friendship with Tisha has brought you happiness and love and support? No doubt, you probably have had great times with her, but lately, I don't think Leticia has been a good friend to you. So that was pretty much the end of that conversation. Now they're all packing up. They're very happy that Carrie created this trip, and they're hoping that this trip will remind them that they are part of a group that deserves love and support. Marie gave her credit for having a great trip, but needs to up her game about feeding people. Fuck you, Marie. And Carrie is happy that the trip turned out well and it was time for them to bond, and hoping that they come together and become closer, and how she became a Belle and how she walked out as a Belle. And that was the end of the episode. We got the season finale coming up. We'll see how this turns out. But all in all, I do appreciate Carrie for putting on a great trip. I do. But I just feel like I don't know what's gonna happen between Leticia and Latrice. I hope that Latrice moves accordingly and not fuck with Leticia the way Leticia is expecting for her to. Keep her at an arm's length. Like, she's gonna keep you at an arm's length. I mean, it is nothing wrong with having a very close friend that you know you cannot talk about everything with, but you will have a great friendship. And I think that's fine. That's okay. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm see you guys later. Bye.